video, I talk about the Harper government wasting a lot of money. But according to the Conference Board of Canada, the federal government will balance its budget by 2015. So Canada is in a relatively good shape, financial shape, compared to many other countries like Greece, Britain. But let's not forget, it's easy for government to cut deficit when you stop providing essential services to Canadians. In 1995, Finance Minister Paul Martin significantly reduced healthcare funding for Canadians, resulting in 5 consecutive budget surpluses. The problem with the Harper government is that they do not see themselves as having any other major duties other than to build prisons and to wage wars. On June 2008, they have quietly released their plan to beef up the military, including spending $490 billion over the next 20 years, that is 490 billion, to ensure, I quote, Canadian soldiers as well-equipped, well-trained, and highly active. As I said before, they're ready to also pay $10 billion over the next 5 years over their prison sentencing reform. According to the Harper, I believe that he wants us to think we're living in a dangerous world filled with thugs and criminals destroying our way of life and our private property. And our civil liberties are already violated due to that mindset during the G20 summit. The Harper government has suspended the parliament twice in order to escape government accountability. And they have decided that it no longer matters if Canadians answer the census anymore. Like how many hours we work, are we unemployed or underemployed, what kind of education we have, are we getting the kind of job that match with our education skills, and how we are managing our lives through public transportation and many similar questions that social service agency wanted. Because according to them, that they don't really care about those issues. The government no longer consider themselves relevant to the lives of Canadians. So the mainstream media has reduced to asking questions like, do we like our Prime Minister? Do we appreciate their personality? Because to many of us, the federal government has stopped being relevant to our lives. It's not hard to manage a government when it doesn't serve the interests of Canadians. Even though the federal government is balancing its budget, according to the report, the province of Ontario and Quebec suffer from extremely high level of debt. Not to mention that Canadians also suffer a high level of personal debt, according to the recent report using data back in 2006 census as well. More and more seniors over the age of 65 are working full-time, and a lot of them at minimum wage jobs. We can only imagine the situation has gotten worse now with the recession. Because many seniors cannot afford to retire, but we can't really expect them to work forever. Many provinces have also increased taxes like the HST to make up for the huge deficit in the provincial government budget. And healthcare costs is eating up large amounts of provincial budget in Ontario, with 46% of Ontario program spending on healthcare. This will leave very little room for other funding like post-secondary education, employment training and insurance, welfare, disability assistance, and mental health. Talking about mental health, mental illness costs Ontario $39 billion a year. A huge problem in this country, and Harper is turning its back on us. So while people might think that our federal government is doing well, Canadians aren't, and it will only get worse as our population ages.